Okay guys, so we are back in the Infiniti. This is again a 2012 G37xs, and in this video we're going to be addressing that little light right there. That is the airbag light. So story behind it, battery was out on this car and I needed to drive it a few times, so I decided to jump start it a few times. And after like the second or third time of jump starting it, the light started blinking. And that was like 5 months ago, and the light still hasn't gone out. So I checked it out, borrowed a scan tool, plugged it in, scanned it. I have like 5 codes, but the problem is all of the codes point to the airbag module. And one of the codes is actually the airbag module code, which is like I think B1015. Basically they're saying, hey, there's something wrong with your airbag module. So in this video, what we're going to be doing, we're going to just pull out the airbag module, which is located under the center console here, and we're going to ship it off to a third party to get them to reset it, and hopefully that'll fix it. So first things first, we need to put the car in neutral so that we can get access to this panel and the bolts behind this panel, and then we can, start taking everything apart. So I have the car running just to kind of warm it up right now, but pretty much we're going to put it in neutral. It's in neutral, and pretty much at this point we can just kill the car. Okay, now it's yelling at me because the car's in neutral, but it doesn't matter, it's fine. Okay, so here's like a little cheap pry tool, but pretty much we're going to just put it right here in between. It's literally just a couple of clips holding it in. Okay, now that we removed that, right down here, we have, right in there, it's kind of hard to make out. Can you see that? Right there is 1, 2 bolts. You need to get those 2 bolts out. To get to those 2 bolts, you need to remove this piece. How do you remove it? Put the car in neutral. I'm going to disconnect the battery because it's yelling at me, and eventually you will need to disconnect the battery. The car is in neutral. You can't really see it because the lights are out, and the battery is also disconnected, so clicking the button doesn't do anything. So we need to pull down right here, like so, and right here you have a clip. When you pull out this clip, make sure that you are able to, that you put it in the same way you take it out. I don't know why people say it's important, but apparently it's important. To pull it out, you can use really much anything. This is the way it needs to go back in. That's the way I pulled it out. That's the way it needs to go back in. So we're going to put it somewhere where I won't lose it. And at this point, we can pull this piece off. Just pull straight up. I don't know if you saw that, but pretty much it just slides in like so. So pretty much just pull up and it's out. Now we need to take off this panel right here. It's pretty much same logic. Like you can probably even pull it off with your hand, kind of. Pull. Yeah, I just did that with my hand. Just pulled up here. Pretty much do the same thing on the other side. Hand. Okay, it's not that easy on the other side, but what I can do is just pry it up right here, and ta-da! So right now we need to disconnect the electrical connectors down here. We have a few connectors right here. So let's see if we can kind of wiggle this thing out a little bit more so we can get access to those connectors. Okay, so we're just carefully lifting it up, and now we need to start disconnecting stuff because we can't really lift it up that much. So we have one seat heater right here. There's a tab in here somewhere. Pretty much you have 3 connectors. They have like tiny little tabs. There's one tab right there. Second tab is right here on the side, and the third tab is right here, kind of like in the front. There's like these little tabs right here. I had to use like a screwdriver to push on them because I wasn't able to undo it by finger. Then there's 2 more connectors. There's this one right here. It's kind of easy. You just push on this clip right here. You pull it out. The one that's in here, it attaches to this wire right in here. And pretty much there's like a little tab that you can undo it by your with fingers right here. So now all we have are these 2 screws up here. So just using a Phillips drive, we're going to take out these 2 screws. from the back seat of the car, we need to pull off this panel. I'm gonna go like right here, right on the edge. Just try pulling it back. There we go. So you don't pull the whole thing, just pull like on the very edge and it'll come off by itself. And there we go. We have one connector holding this piece in. Push down on this little tab and this thing is now loose. Now we have, from what I understand, we have 2 more screws. There's one here, one there, and then pretty much this whole thing is ready to come out. Right here you can see the mount for the ABS module. So again, Phillips, 1 screw, 2 screws, doing this off camera to save you guys time. So I finally got this bolt out. This bolt went out pretty easily. This bolt really sucked. Like my hands aren't, you can't really make out how messed up they are. But pretty much, get a screwdriver, like an impact gun or something that's got like a long bit or something, because this screwdriver right here was not cutting it. Like plug it in, if you see, like it's like flush. There's like not enough room to actually get your hand in here and start turning it. Make sure you use a long screwdriver, because this kind of sucked, to be honest with you. But pretty much at this point, this unit should be loose, so all we need to do is just pull up. There will be probably a few more connectors somewhere here and here, but you see it pulls up and it moves all the way throughout. This cable right here, pull this cable out. I don't know how, but pull it out because it's actually holding it in because it attaches to the wire. So let me get like a pry tool and pry this cable off right here. So we pulled back a little bit. Now we need to pry this cable off so we can actually loosen this thing up. After messing around with this thing for a while, I got it out. Pretty much it's 2 clips holding it in right here. You have to kind of squeeze it. So what I did, I shoved a finger in between here, squeezed it, messed around with it for a little bit, but as you see, the whole center console is pretty much removable now. So now we need to lift this thing up high enough to get to the other 2 connectors that are in here. And you can see like the wires right there for them. You have your cigarette lighter right here, and then you have your USB plug right there. So as you can see, I pulled this thing out. It was really stupid pulling it out. Side connector right here, that one wasn't too bad. That was a gray connector like this, and a gray connector, and it's kind of plugged in on the side like so. So pretty much you just got to push a tab in, and that one's easy. Other connector for the cigarette lighter, that one's a stupid one, because here's the connector. It is put in like top, so you have to push down all the way. Like you can't push down. Maybe you could push down here, but I pretty much had to push down here. Problem with that, you have a cup holder in the way. So cup holder kind of like runs in right here. So that was a little bit more work than what I was anticipating, but we're almost there. Now we just need to get this guy out of here somehow. And by the looks of it, he is held in by 2 Phillips screws, one here, and we can probably get this unit out right now. This is kind of stressful. So I got the 2 screws out. 1, 2. See, screw is fine. Screwdrivers, on the other hand, not so fine. This one snapped when I was taking off this bolt right here. Garbage. This one's kind of okay, but as you can see, it's pretty much also done. I don't know how they assemble this car, dude. Like, impact gun or whatever, but it's hardcore, dude. So now we just pull out from under the wire, and we can pull out the air tube. And what do you know? Here's the whole reason I'm in here, to get this guy out. So we need, there's one, I think one for sure, 2, so there's 3 right there, 1 right here. There's probably 1 more under there, but let's unplug it. I'm gonna just mess around with the car a little bit, make sure that the power's out for sure. I will probably need to remove this bracket here because I don't think my ratchet can fit in there. But I think these side ones are 10mm bolts right here. There's 1, 2, so let's get those out real quick. Okay, so with the bracket out, I have easy access to the bolts. So on some cars, apparently these are Torx, like T50. I don't know, for this one, they use 12 millimeter regular hex heads. So 12 mil, 1, 2, 3, and then we have one 10 mil right here in the center. So I'm going to take this off and we'll be done. The bolt's removed. There we go. The airbag module. It is now out of the vehicle. I'm so thankful that it's out of the vehicle. So pretty much here's what I got to do. I need to ship this off to the third party that's going to be resetting the hard codes, because apparently the problem was that some code tripped and it's a hard code like crash data or some, I don't know. But pretty much I need to ship this off to a third party. They will reset it and then they will ship the computer back to me. So in this video I just showed you how to get this module out. I might be doing another follow-up video to see if the reset actually helped. Hopefully it did, because I don't want to buy a new one of these because they're like pretty expensive. But we'll see if the reset helps. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.